What you clear in the first 3 days of 2026 determines how the year responds to you.
If you are hearing this transmission, it is because your field is preparing for a clean entry into 2026. This is not just the beginning of a new year, it is the closing of an energetic cycle and the stabilization of a new one. Before intention, before resolution, your aura responded to this frequency. This transmission is designed to cleanse the energy of what you are leaving behind and stabilize the timeline you are entering. Not symbolically, energetically. 2026 does not respond to force, repetition, or unresolved patterns. It responds to coherence. As you listen, residual imprints from previous timelines begin to release. Unfinished emotional loops soften. Energetic weight carried from past cycles dissolves. You are not starting 2026 by pushing forward. You are starting by clearing the field. This transmission works beyond belief. It operates through alignment, frequency regulation, and subtle permission. Remain present. Do not visualize. Do not interfere. The field is reorganizing so you can enter the new year lighter, clearer, and aligned. This is how a timeline opens cleanly.
Chapter 1. The aura is a living field. Your aura is not a concept. It is a living field of information. It records emotional memory, unconscious decisions, interrupted intentions, and energetic agreements you never consciously made. Every experience that was not fully integrated left a subtle imprint. Over time, these imprints accumulate. They do not disappear on their own. They remain active in the field. This is how energetic density forms. When density increases, clarity decreases. When clarity decreases, timelines begin to repeat. This is why certain patterns feel familiar. This is why some cycles feel difficult to escape. This is why effort increases where flow should exist. The aura acts as a filter between your inner state and external reality. If the filter is distorted, reality reflects distortion. If the filter clears, reality responds differently. Right now, this transmission is interacting directly with that filter. Not forcing change, not removing anything aggressively, simply restoring coherence. As coherence returns, the aura begins to self-correct. Energetic debris dissolves. Emotional residue releases. Old frequencies lose authority over your present moment. This is not emotional healing in the traditional sense. This is energetic hygiene. And as the aura cleanses, the field regains its original intelligence. Your system remembers how to regulate itself. You are not becoming something new. You are removing what never belonged. The cleansing has already started.
Activation Cleanse Transmission. In this moment, I authorize a deep cleansing of my energy field. Everything that is not in coherence with my highest timeline begins to dissolve now. Unconscious contracts, emotional residue, subtle interference, and repetitive patterns lose authority and deactivate within my field. My aura enters a state of lucid neutrality. The past releases its pressure. The future stops pulling. The timeline aligns in the present moment. I activate the natural restoration of my original frequency. Everything that was fragmented returns to integrity. Everything that was scattered returns to center. My field clears without effort. My frequency stabilizes without resistance. I allow only what is coherent to remain active. Synchronicity reorganizes around me. Abundance finds its pathway. Aligned connections recognize my presence. In this instant, cleansing becomes activation. I activate clarity. I activate balance. I activate alignment. My field is sealed in coherence. My energy is stabilized. My timeline is free to move forward. It is done.
Chapter 2. The Aura Timeline Feedback Loop. Your aura and your timeline are not separate systems. They are the same field, responding at different levels. The aura holds information. The timeline responds to that information. When unresolved energy accumulates in the field, time compresses. Choices narrow. Patterns repeat. This is why some years feel heavy before they even begin. Not because of fate, but because residue from previous cycles was never released. As you prepare to enter 2026, this feedback loop is being interrupted. Energetic signals that once pulled you back into old decisions are losing influence. The past is no longer instructing the future. This is how timelines change, not through effort, but through clearance. When the aura clears, probability reorganizes. When probability reorganizes, synchronicity increases. Moments begin to line up again. Delays dissolve. Movement becomes natural. 2026 is not asking you to become someone new. It is asking you to stop carrying frequencies that belong to previous timelines. Right now, the loop between your field and your future is recalibrating. Old trajectories soften, new pathways gain definition. This is not a leap, it is a correction. And once the correction stabilizes, the timeline responds with less resistance and greater precision.
(2026) Activation. Clean Entry Transmission. In this moment, I consciously close the energetic cycle I am leaving behind. Everything carried from previous timelines that no longer serves coherence begins to release now. Residual patterns, unfinished emotional loops, delayed decisions, and unconscious agreements dissolve from my field. I clear my aura completely. The weight of the past lifts. The pull of old timelines disengages. I authorize a clean and stable entry into 2026. My energy resets at the threshold of this new cycle. My timeline aligns with clarity, flow, and precision. I no longer carry frequencies that belong to old versions of myself. I activate coherence as my dominant state. I activate stability as my foundation. I activate alignment as my direction. Synchronicity reorganizes around my presence. Opportunities respond without force. Movement replaces resistance. My field stabilizes at a higher order. My aura remains clear. My timeline remains open. Only what is aligned continues forward with me into 2026. This transition is sealed. This alignment is active. This year begins clean. It is done.
Chapter 3. Why Synchronicity Accelerates in 2026. Synchronicity is not a sign, it is a response. When your energy field stabilizes, reality no longer needs to compensate. In previous cycles, synchronicity appeared briefly, then faded. Not because it stopped working, but because interference returned. As 2026 begins, the field responds differently. This cycle amplifies coherence and exposes distortion faster. When the aura is clear and the timeline is stable, alignment becomes visible. Events converge, timing sharpens, delays collapse. Synchronicity increases not because something external is helping you, but because nothing internal is blocking the signal. This is why awareness matters now more than ever. Half alignment creates noise. Full presence creates flow. 2026 does not reward intention alone. It responds to embodiment. As your field integrates, small movements produce larger effects. Conversations shift outcomes. Choices redirect timelines. Presence accelerates probability. This is not acceleration through pressure. It is acceleration through precision. And once the field locks into coherence, reality begins responding faster, cleaner, and with less resistance. Synchronicity Activation 2026. In this moment, I stabilize my field in full presence. I release internal interference. I disengage from half alignment. My aura locks into coherence. My timeline responds with precision. Synchronicity accelerates naturally around me. Timing sharpens. Delays dissolve. The correct path becomes obvious. Small actions now produce clear movement. I embody alignment instead of seeking signs. Reality responds faster because my field is clear. This coherence is active. This response is unlocked. It is done.
Chapter 4: Abundance as a Field Response in 2026. Abundance is not a reward, it is a response. In previous cycles, effort was mistaken for alignment. Struggle was confused with value. Tension was normalized. 2026 does not respond to pressure. It responds to field stability. When your energy is fragmented, abundance hesitates, not as punishment, but as protection. When the field stabilizes, flow resumes naturally. Abundance is information moving toward coherence. Opportunities appear when resistance dissolves. Resources circulate when fear releases. Expansion occurs when the system feels safe to open. This year, abundance responds less to desire and more to embodiment. Not what you want, but what you sustain. As your aura remains clear and your timeline stabilizes, the field recognizes availability. Availability to receive, availability to move, availability to respond. This is why forcing outcomes collapses flow. Force introduces noise. Noise disrupts timing. 2026 amplifies what is consistent. Small aligned actions now carry greater momentum. Stable energy produces measurable results. Abundance does not arrive suddenly. It aligns quietly. And once alignment locks in, movement becomes inevitable.
Deep Abundance Activation Field Stabilization 2026. In this moment, I release all internal resistance to receiving. I dissolve inherited scarcity patterns, survival tension, and unconscious fear stored in my field. I no longer confuse effort with worth, nor struggle with value. My energy stabilizes in safety, coherence, and availability. I allow abundance to recognize me as a stable environment, not rushed, not fragmented, not conflicted. My aura signals readiness. My nervous system relaxes. My timeline opens without force. I release urgency. I release comparison. I release the need to prove. The field responds to my stability. Resources circulate toward coherence. Opportunities organize naturally. Movement replaces pressure. I no longer chase abundance. I become a point of alignment it can flow through. My energy sustains what it receives. My presence holds expansion without collapse. I enter 2026 grounded, clear, and receptive. Only what is aligned with my highest coherence remains active in my field. Abundance stabilizes. Flow continues. This frequency locks in. It is sealed. Chapter 5. Love, Stability, and Emotional Coherence in 2026. Love in 2026 is no longer activated by intensity. Intensity belongs to instability. What awakens love now is coherence. In previous cycles, emotional turbulence was mistaken for depth. Attachment loops were confused with destiny. Pain was interpreted as proof of connection. That frequency collapses here. 2026 reorganizes the emotional field. Love no longer responds to urgency, pursuit, or emotional charge. It responds to nervous system regulation, energetic safety, and inner stillness. When your emotional field stabilizes, attraction recalibrates. You stop resonating with chaos. You stop negotiating with inconsistency. You stop mistaking longing for truth. Emotional coherence is not emotional suppression. It is emotional integration. It is the ability to feel without fragmenting, to open without losing center, to connect without abandoning self. As your aura clears, emotional memory stored in the field releases. Old attachment imprints dissolve. Trauma-based attraction loses magnetism. Repetitive relational timelines soften. This is not a decision. It is a frequency shift. Love begins to feel different because you are different. Presence replaces anticipation. Safety replaces anxiety. Clarity replaces projection. In 2026, love recognizes stability as intelligence. It aligns with those who can remain present without controlling, open without collapsing, and commit without fear. Whether love arrives through partnership, deep companionship, or profound peace within yourself first, the field response is identical. Coherence invites intimacy. Stability allows love to stay. This year does not amplify emotion, it refines it. And in that refinement, love finally becomes sustainable. Deep Love and Emotional Coherence Activation, 2026. In this moment, I stabilize my emotional field in coherence. I release emotional turbulence, attachment loops, and reactive patterns stored in my energy. I dissolve attraction rooted in fear, urgency, or unintegrated wounds. My nervous system relaxes into safety. My heart opens without collapse. I allow emotional presence without tension. Love no longer feels uncertain in my field. It feels recognizable. I activate emotional stability as my foundation. I remain open without abandoning myself. I connect without losing center. I commit without fear. Old relational timelines release their hold. Emotional memory clears from my aura. I no longer resonate with chaos. I no longer negotiate with inconsistency. My energy signals safety, clarity, and consistency. Love responds to my coherence. Intimacy aligns with stability. Whether love enters through another or through peace within me first, the field remains the same. My heart sustains connection without fragmentation. This coherence stabilizes now. This love remains present. This emotional field is sealed. It is done.
Chapter 6: Integration and Timeline Stabilization. Integration is where real change settles. Without integration, insight fades. Without stabilization, activation disperses. This chapter is not about adding anything new. It is about allowing what has already shifted to remain. As your aura clears, your emotional field stabilizes, and your nervous system relaxes, the timeline begins to reorganize itself naturally. Not abruptly, not dramatically, but precisely. Old probabilities lose momentum. New trajectories gain definition. This is how timelines stabilize. They do not jump, they correct. Integration is the moment your system stops oscillating between past and future. Presence becomes steady, decisions become clean, movement becomes intentional. 2026 amplifies integration. This year responds to consistency more than intensity. When your field sustains coherence, reality mirrors it back without delay. Opportunities no longer feel forced. Relationships no longer feel uncertain. Progress no longer feels exhausting. This is not acceleration through effort. It is stabilization through alignment. As this chapter completes, your system locks into a new baseline. Your aura remains clear. Your emotional field remains regulated. Your timeline remains open and responsive. From this point forward, movement happens with less resistance and greater precision. Integration is complete. The timeline is stabilizing.
Deep Integration and Timeline Stabilization Activation 2026. In this moment, I allow every shift initiated to settle completely within my field. Nothing fragments, nothing escapes, nothing returns to its previous state. All energetic adjustments integrate at the deepest level of my system. My aura accepts coherence as its natural condition. My emotional field accepts stability as its baseline. My nervous system accepts regulation as its default state. I release the habit of oscillation. I release the need to revisit the past. I release unconscious anticipation of the future. Time no longer pulls me apart. The timeline gathers itself around my presence. Old probabilities dissolve without conflict. Expired trajectories lose momentum. Interference patterns deactivate fully. I no longer leak energy into unresolved timelines. My field holds alignment effortlessly. Coherence becomes sustained. Stability becomes embodied. Presence becomes continuous. I anchor myself in the now, not as effort, but as state. From this point forward, my system recognizes only what is aligned. Opportunities respond to consistency. Relationships respond to safety. Reality responds to precision. My energy no longer resets, it stabilizes. My timeline no longer fluctuates, it holds. This integration completes now. This stabilization locks in now. This trajectory is sealed at its foundation. I move forward without fragmentation. I remain aligned without tension. I sustain coherence over time. It is sealed. It is stabilized. It is done. Final transmission. The year is sealed. This transition is complete at every level of the field. What belonged to former timelines no longer has access to your present. The energetic weight of unfinished cycles has dissolved. The emotional charge of past repetitions has released. The pull of outdated probabilities has lost its influence. Your aura no longer carries residue. Your emotional field no longer oscillates. Your timeline no longer fractures. You are not stepping into 2026 by effort or intention. You are arriving through coherence. From this moment forward, reality no longer needs to correct you. It responds to you. Not because you demand, but because your field is stable enough to receive. Synchronicity sharpens as noise disappears. Opportunities surface as resistance dissolves. Movement becomes clean, direct, and precise. You will notice less urgency, less internal dialogue, less need to prove or accelerate. This is not stagnation. This is alignment. The system recognizes you as coherent. The field recognizes you as stable. Time recognizes you as present. Because of this, what unfolds next arrives without friction. What is meant for you does not chase you, it aligns with you. You are no longer pulled between past memory and future anticipation. You inhabit the center. From the center, action becomes effortless. From the center, connection becomes natural. From the center, abundance circulates without interruption. This is how a year opens cleanly, not with promises, but with stabilization. 2026 is not something you enter, it is something that responds to you. Remain present, remain embodied, remain coherent.
As 2026 unfolds its first moments, your aura now radiates pure coherence. Old timelines dissolved, energy stabilized, abundance unlocked. Carry this alignment forward. Synchronicities will multiply, love will deepen in stability, and your path will flow effortlessly. Thank you for joining this transmission. Subscribe to Cosmic Consciousness for deeper activations and step into the year renewed.